Hi, good evening everybody. In this video, let's take a look at the trade deadline and potentially why nothing happened really. Coming up. All right guys, I want to go over a few details, maybe why what happened and what basically didn't happen is really we kind of just stuck with our bunch. And I was a little confused about it because, to be honest, guys, if you would have asked me for a rough guess how many people were going to move, I would have said 5. I would have figured there'd been 5 deals. I think that was a fair estimate. Most of us would have expected at this deadline, and nothing really happened. We moved Robert Hagg, and that was it. So, what happened? Why? Let's look at this. And you know what? This is why Adams is a GM and I'm not. This is why. Because some of this makes sense to me, guys. It does. It does. So I'm going to basically base tonight on this. And there's another article I want to go over with The Athletic in another video. But let's do this one first because a lot of Buffalo fans might be a little frustrated that really we didn't do much. We kind of just sat back and we didn't do anything really, right? But why? What's the motive? What's the reason behind the reason to doing nothing? Let's take a look at this. There's only 3 clips to this video, and then I'm going to do the board with you for a bit too. All right, here we go. All right, takeaways from Sabres GM Kevin Adams after the trade deadline. The Sabres prioritized keeping their young core in a position to succeed over the final 19 games. My God, that's just a simple answer. That's what happened today. That's it right there. Adams decided the way we're playing right now, it will be stupid for our culture, for our future, for everything to bust it up to maybe get some 5th and 6th round draft picks. Doesn't that make sense? Really, guys, it does, right? It's like you guys know how it is when it comes to the trade deadline. You get caught into it. You want to do something. You're excited. You know, I thought we'd be in the forefront of one of the most busy teams today, and we were one of the quietest, really, in this deadline. So, a few clips here I want to show you. This was from the Sabres website, if you haven't seen it yet. And let me open it up. Here we go. Kevin Adams explored the various avenues that teams ventured down ahead of the NHL trade deadline, utilizing the Sabres cap space to broker a deal, trading expiring contracts for future assets, even adding players who fit the mold of what is being built in Buffalo. Ultimately, he prioritized keeping his young core in a position to complete over their final 19 games of this season. At the end of the day, for me, it was always about what's best for this group going forward. What was the best thing for the development of this group? And really wanted to be mindful of putting these players in a position to keep getting better. He was just thinking, we got to keep this going. If the Sabres would have lost the last 5 in a row, I guarantee you guys, it would have been busier today. It would have been. But the fact that we're winning the way we are, let's face it, guys, we haven't looked this good in years. Right now. I see his point. I do. I was very relieved when I read this because I was trying to figure out what the hell, And then once I came off that wave of wanting trades done, at the deadline, I'm just like a kid in a candy store like some of you. I want to see something happen. I get excited for it, and I kept waiting. I watched the whole thing, and it became evident at the end. I said, I don't think we're going to do a last-minute deal. I was thinking a broker deal would happen. I did. I thought that would happen, but even that didn't happen. Okay, final clip here. Let me open this one. Here we go. Okay, the Sabres acquired a 6th-round pick from the Florida Panthers in exchange for defenseman Robert Hagg on Sunday. They did not make any trades Monday before the 3 p.m. deadline, opting instead to preserve a roster that has won 4 of its last 5 games. I like this right here, guys. It is a reward for a team that embraced the pressure of playing a pair of games in the NHL spotlight, winning at home over Vegas and former captain Jack Eichel, and beating the rival Toronto in the Heritage Classic. It responded to a lopsided loss in Edmonton with consecutive road wins in Calgary and Vancouver. The Sabres' young talent has continued to shine within that stretch. Dylan Cousins elevated his physicality, Peyton Krebs and Tage Thompson delivered timely goals, Rasmus Dahlin continued to cement himself as an all-star caliber defenseman. That success has come thanks in part to the support of their veteran cast. Adams listed Craig Anderson, Vinny Hinostroza, and Mark Pysyk, all of whom are in expiring contracts and thus would be considered trade candidates. As players who are both stabilizing presences on the ice and impactful personalities off of it. I just really believe these next 19 games for our group are so important, he said. It's important that we continue to push ourselves, continue to hold ourselves, each other accountable, continue to grow. And I felt that the position that we put ourselves in with the group that we have will allow us to keep doing that. It makes sense. It makes sense. It does. I can't deny that. It makes sense, guys. I mean, it's just one of those things where, let's face it, you know, like he wants to keep this team going. I can't blame him. I can't. As soon as it sunk in and I read this article and I seen his interview, as soon as he said that, you know, basically to keep the team going the way they are right now is not a bad thing. It's true. It's not. It's really not. Maybe Hag wanted out. I don't know why he was moved so quick either. Who knows? We'll see in the end of the year if he resigns in Buffalo. We'll see. I'll be curious to see what happens with Hag. Or if he wasn't in our plans at all. He might just not have been in our plans. It really depends. They take everything into consideration, guys, on, off the ice, things like this. Okay, now I want to go over a few things about the season. All right, in the same video here, we're going to go look at a few things here. Then I'll wrap up this video. I got one more to make. Okay. This is the run for 30. This is for the 30 wins, guys. Okay, I was looking at this. Now, my original, I forget what the numbers were, but to finish 30, 40, and 12, we got to go 8, 7, and 4 the rest of the year. 8, 7, and 4. That might sound very realistic, guys, but right now, when you see the schedule coming up, it's going to look a hell of a lot harder. 7 of our next 11 are against the top 6 teams in the league. The only, everybody but Colorado, okay? The 5 teams under Colorado, 7 of our next 11 are against the top 6. 12 of our next 13 games are all playoff teams. They're all getting in. All those teams are all getting in. We're talking St. Louis, Nashville, just Washington. These are teams that are getting in. 5 of our last 6, though, we close out the season against non-playoff teams, 5 of our last 6. So 8, 7, and 4 means we have room for 11 losses, emotional losses. I'm thinking emotional, not so much mathematical, but emotional because of the third column. That means we can lose one in overtime and bounce back. You get it? This is what I'm thinking. 8, 7, and 4 is realistic, guys. It's still possible. You know, I'm looking at this and I'm trying to make sense of it. Can we do it? Because, my God, you know, I also marked down something else. I guess I didn't bring my book in here. I believe, what was it, against our last 19? Oh, well, I can do it here. 5 of our last 6 are non-playoff. So 6 of our, okay, so 13 of our last 19 games are all good teams. We're playing good teams, more than 2 out of every 3 games. This is not going to be an easy task. It's not going to be easy, but I think the main thing is here, the next 11. Because if we can make something happen here in the next 11 games, yeah, there's a chance that we can get this done. And I would love nothing more than to put up a video where, you know, we got our 30th win of the year. It might not sound like much to some fans out there that are stubborn and want more, but I tell you what, guys, no matter what, it's an accomplishment for these guys. You know, these guys want to do the best they possibly can for the city, and they want to continue keeping this roll going. I think what's more important to the Sabres right now, guys, is just to keep this thing going. What's going on? They don't care about the record. They're not thinking of playoffs. They didn't want to think. I think maybe Adams might have given the green light for the Sabres under the table to know that that's it. We're not doing any more moves unless something is irresistible and we have to do it. We'll just do add-ons maybe, something like that. That's about it. Because I think a lot of the Sabres run, you know, might have felt pretty bad that they're going to break up this team after the way they looked the last few weeks. It's just something that was in my head. So 8, 7, and 4, guys, that's the goal. And if we can get to this, I say we had a hell of a season. I really do. 30, 40, and 12 for this young bunch that, let's face it, guys, this is not even a cap floor team. This is not even a cap floor team. Hell, we had to take on Boychuk's contract just to meet the cap floor, right? Think about it, guys. Imagine how much money we'll have next year. Something to think about. Okay, I'm going to get ready for the next video. I got another one coming at you. See you in that one.